In episode 2, season 2, Britnie Turner, Jeremy Newsom, we are going to redefine and help everyone rethink and reshift what does it mean to be poor and how we can all escape from the fear of lack into the gorgeousness of abundance. And we are back. You just made it from the very first episode to the second episode.
Congratulations.
You're taking steps with us. This is so fun. We have so many more to go.
You're crushing it.
And you are in season 2 of Broke to Woke with Britnie Faith Turner.
Jeremy Alexander Newsom.
I'm here.
You're here, making the appearance.
I'm in front of you.
Thank you.
Asking one of the world's most powerful, brilliant, rich, and successful women the questions that so many people want to know the answer to. Big question for this particular episode. What does being poor actually mean?
You know, a lot of people would define it as a state of your finances.
Yep.
But I define it as walking in fear, walking in lack, constantly worrying that there isn't enough and that things will be taken away from you. It's fear-based. It's not abundance-based. And we're going to talk about what does rich mean?
Yeah.
On the contrary.
Yeah.
You know, to me, I define rich, again, not as a bank account status, but as walking in the fullness and abundance of life, producing value and sharing your gift with the world. What is that really like for you? Have you even figured out how you want to produce value?
Yeah.
Have you even figured out what your gift is? Well, you're in luck because we're going to talk about all that.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're still here. That's powerful. Walking, the poor is a fear-based. Because again, I think most people would say, oh, I'm just poor. But if you keep saying that word over and over and over, it's going to become reality. You will become poor. You will be poor. You will stay poor. And we're going to be describing the differences between poor and broke.
I mean, it's absurd how much opportunity there is in the world.
Yeah.
Literally, just anything that frustrates you,
Yep.
that you understand could be better, that's an opportunity. Because you have a vision of a higher standard. You
Sure.
can take it from this thing that annoys you to its greatness if you just put in those steps versus get lost in the annoyance. But when you walk in this fear, you walk in this lack, you're constantly worrying there isn't enough, or somebody's going to take something from you, or I missed this, or I regret that. Like that's, thank God I've finally developed the mindset that thinks that's insane. But I used to be that way.
Oh, I was about to say, so you said finally you developed, which means there was a time?
I really didn't think I would ever make more than $2,000 a month.
When?
For years.
Really?
My gosh, for years. Like no matter what I did, didn't matter how many jobs I worked at the same time, I couldn't break that. That was the best I could do. 24 grand a year.
Yeah. Wow. Well, here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to have these barriers, right? I mean, there's going to be tons of people that are going to be listening right now. Tens of thousands. They're going to have their proverbial ceiling, whatever that looks like. Yours was $24,000 a year. I mean, can you tell us how you broke through it?
I broke through it by understanding how can I truly create value? And how can I make sure that that is in the right places, you know? And more than anything, I just recognized the abundance around me. And I stopped feeling sorry for myself. And then I worked to learn, not just to earn. And when I aligned my passion and my purpose and I realized everything that I'm doing is to learn, and I didn't have to put that disclaimer, I'm only doing this to learn. And I gave money its rightful place, which is it's a tool, nothing more. It's freaking fake. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Money is fake. There's a whole episode in season 1.
Yeah.
But it is. It's all BS just to make life a little easier. So when you understand that this little BS piece of paper can open doors, can grow things, whatever it touches, it will expand, then you own it, not it own you. That's how I broke through. How did you break through? I know you've dealt with this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There was many stages of my life where when you talk about walking in the lack, right, there's not enough. For me, it was a moment in time where I was really, really realizing and resonating the fact that I can exchange knowledge for money. That's when that was a huge, huge shift for me. Because at work, when I actually had a job, there was...
You had a job forever.
Yeah, I had a job for a long time.
So crazy.
Yeah, that's dumb.
You're so unemployable to me.
No one will hire me right now.
It'd be a terrible hire.
Do not hire me, people. Yeah, I mean, when I had a job, you could exchange knowledge for money. That was that first investment that I made in silver, right? When I bought silver and I just left it alone, but then it grew and it made so much more than actually made a whole month of work. That was a mindset. That was a whole paradigm shift, because that's when you start realizing, wait a minute, I can just use tactical actions to grow. Because when you're poor, you don't think you can, or you don't think you should, or you don't think you have the access to. I was interviewing our good friend John Guyton recently, and he held up his phone. And I was like, if you have access to this and you're poor, it is your fault.
Yes. There's so much free crap on YouTube.
It's like, it's your fault.
How much are you paying to listen to this podcast?
Yeah, probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Sure.
you are given the tools.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have everything
right.
you need. It's a matter of focus.
That shook me for a little bit. Like when he was just holding up that phone, because there was a time where when I had my phone, Britnie, it was to text girls, right? Or look up sports numbers or play phone games, right? I was a huge Clash of Clanners.
No.
Yeah, I did. On Clash of Clans. You know, I had a very impressive town hall.
It's about time, guys. It's all about time.
Right.
What are you doing with your time?
Right. And understanding those small blocks, because there was a point where I would say very frequently, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do that. And that was that lack, right? Living in that lack. When you start saying, I don't have, you are living in lack. When you say, I can't lack, those I don't and I can't, those are generally excuses.
I think that's my favorite quote in Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechner. It's, how can I?
Yeah.
Swap I can't afford blah, blah, blah to how can I afford blah, blah, blah. And watch what happens to your brain.
Yeah.
It finds solutions because you asked a powerful question.
Right. Or you just ask a question, because I can't is a statement to yourself. Right. Again, now you're walking in fear that even if you, ready for this, even if you wanted it and you got it, you can't continually have it perpetually because you're telling yourself that you can't. And that's a belief, right? You mentioned earlier, BS. This is all BS, belief systems.
Ooh. Snap. I'm never going to be able to play that card game again. Belief system.
Yep.
I love it.
Absolutely. And that's the change, because one of the things I've noticed recently, you said it earlier, Britnie, about anything, and this was a really cool quote, I wrote it down, anything that money touches, it amplifies. And if we have a poor mindset, or if we have a broke mindset, or if you have an abundant mindset, a fearful mindset, a loving, any part of you will become amplified. All of it. So the good and the bad. You got to find out the things that are internally negative about your personality, because if you become wealthier, that will amplify.
Absolutely. Money does not change people. It's just revealing people. And I know you've probably heard that before, but I think the simplest way to say it is money is simply an expansion tool of the heart. Whatever is inside you and your heart and what you're just talking about, when you have wealth, it will amplify that. So money will never change people. I'm the same goofball that loves Star Wars suitcases that I was when I was 18, and it doesn't change me no matter where I'm going.
You still have your passion for animals.
I love animals. And guess what? I can buy zebras that are going to get shot at a game farm. I can save their life. Why? Because I can freaking afford it.
Yeah, because you have money.
I can build an entire... I literally have a farm named Redemption Farm.
Bam.
And guess how many animals are going to die there? None.
That's right.
All of their lives were saved.
Yep.
And the whole point is to show how much more valuable they can be. And I can impact kids' lives and developing nations. And there's so many cool things that I get to fund because that's what my heart cares about. You know, I actually don't even buy meat. People are like, well, we don't like. I'm like, well, then you can buy it.
Yeah.
You can buy it.
Sure.
If I'm funding it, you get to live according to my values.
Right.
It's not necessarily even me pushing them on you. It's like, I funded it. Therefore.
Correct.
I got off a tangent there, but.
Hey, it's all good.
It is.
It's values.
What do you care about?
And earlier you said the phrase, and shout outs to our good friend, Tony Robbins.
Hey.
Who says that if you want to change your life, you have to raise your standards. So you mentioned earlier, change your standards, raise your standards. So if someone in your heart, if you have fear, panic, anxiety, depression, and you're terrified, that's okay to feel that way. But you can make changes. You can...
Don't stay there.
Exactly. Don't stay there. Go in internally, meditate. Think about what your heart actually looks like, right? Create an image in your brain of what your heart looks like and the chambers that are there and how much love is there and how much fear and how much animosity and how much jealousy, if you have any, right? Really go down and just figure out all the things that you can meditate on to come up with a physical image of what that actually looks like. So that's how you can make that change. That's what I started doing.
You're talking about something really profound, and the psychology behind it is I kind of refer it to, if you're trying to read a sign off in the distance, what do you have to do? Sometimes we turn down the music so we can see better. It's so funny. But whatever you focus on, because whatever we focus on,
oh my God,
expands. So whatever you focus on expands. If you get lost in the story of betrayal, if you get lost in the story of how you didn't make it in the stock market the first, how many years did it take you to actually be good?
4.
4 years of how many hours a day?
Minimum 7.
Minimum of 7 hours a day?
Every day.
Every single day?
Every day.
Some of y'all only work that long.
Yeah.
In an unfocused way.
Yeah.
You had a job and you did that, right? 7 hours a day.
Every day.
Weekends?
Monday through Monday. Your birthday, Jesus' birthday.
all the birthdays.
All of it.
So whatever you focus on expands. And
Yep.
I've seen incredible forces for good, the most high and beautiful calling of anybody I've ever encountered, get knocked out of the game because they get stuck on something, an event that proves them right. You're right to think that way, but then you get stuck there because you don't move your focus. And what I've seen, we're going to be deep here, is right before some of the greatest moments of your life, the coolest things that are about to take place that would be amazing if you're being present, you're recognizing them, you're grateful, it's about to have this miracle happen, a distraction takes place. Someone hurts your feelings.
Yeah.
Something happens and it stresses you out and you're looking down to where you don't even see this beautiful future ahead of you and you miss it. The day that I won the biggest award of my life and I walked across the Ernst & Young stage as a 24-year-old, I guess it was the biggest award of my life to date. I walked across that stage. I was sad when I was up there and I went straight to my room because I had haters putting comments about me I didn't like on Instagram. Meanies. Instead of getting off that stage and meeting the people who could change my life forever and take me to the next level, save me from some of the pain that I had to experience making it on my own the next couple years, I didn't need them. I didn't shake their hands. I wasn't present. I didn't even appreciate the moment. I went back in my room and I read more comments.
Yeah.
I deleted them. But, it just sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. And so don't miss the blessing in front of you with the peasant distraction that's trying to take away from those highs. It's going to happen at your wedding if you invite anyone. It's going to happen on the day your child is born. It's going to happen when your business wins something. Some loser's going to do some negative PR stunt. Whatever it is, it's always going to happen. So just be ready to see it and actually, not like you're trying to attract it, but see it.
Yeah.
And then know, oh, that's its rightful place. That's the distraction. Now I can ignore it. Anyway, that's all me.
I was listening the entire time intently to that because number one, I didn't know that story. I don't think a lot of people did, because when people see, oh, look, right? I mean, so many people were probably there in that room, like, she's 24 and she's winning. What award was it exactly? Do you remember?
It was Entrepreneur Winning Women. So it's at the Entrepreneur of the Year event.
No big deal.
Tens of thousands of people, greatest entrepreneurs in the world in the room. Forbes, Fortune, everybody's writing about it.
You're one of the youngest.
I was definitely the youngest that's ever been on that stage.
Oh, there we go.
I had broken over 10 million in revenue a year at that point in my third year of business. And I was 0.0001% of all women in humanity, not just America or it's just in humanity. And I didn't even care.
Yeah, because that's how powerful distractions can be. Let that be the
Dumb
lesson.
ones.
Yeah, stupid.
But it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What
It
are you
is.
letting distract you from everything you're supposed to walk into?
And it doesn't have to be a comment on social media. It can be your friend or your spouse or a parent or someone in your life.
Flat tire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Flat tire.
Whatever.
Yeah. The smallest of things.
COVID.
What a distraction.
Distractions.
And if we sit there in that moment and we let it be and we let it resonate and we let it affect us, that, my friends, that is a poor mentality. That's what that mentality is. That's how it resonates. Because when we have a poor mentality, it's because we are allowing not only those distractions, but the universe to not only push back on us, but to hold us back, to keep us back, so that we stay back, because we just simply don't push forward and realize the moment that we're in.
There's an incredible book called Outwitting the Devil
Yep.
by Napoleon Hill. And his family made him wait to publish it until after everybody in the family's dead. It was written in the 30s.
Oh my
It just came out in 2011.
Yeah.
And whether you believe in Satan or darkness or whatever, the summary of the book, and I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I will ruin this part, is this darkness or Satan doesn't try to just kill you if you're a force for good. He just distracts you.
Poisoned you.
To where you drift around without
Drifter.
being effective.
Yep.
That's the whole plan.
Yep.
How can I distract you enough to where you lose sight and you lose that power and you lose that synergy to where you're just not effective? You're just going through life, flopping around.
If you guys are listening to Britnie right now and you're not getting goosebumps, please rewind. Because that's it.
That's the thing.
He's not trying to kill you. Satan, or whatever force of evil you're considering, is not trying to stop you. Just wants you to not do anything effectively. Keep being you. Stay who you are. Just flounder and drift. So to everyone who's listening to this, Britnie told me to listen to this book because she knows me and her are both Audible nerds.
It's the greatest book ever.
And this was the time where I was doing some of my running, and I was doing some of these Forrest Gump impersonations. I got my beard, Forrest Gump beard, so I was doing my running. And I was listening to it, and I've told you this before, and I'll tell everyone else too who's listening. She was like, Jeremy, this is one of the greatest books in the world. You have to read it. You have to listen to it. You have to listen to it. I was like, okay, fine. So I downloaded it. And an hour in, I'm like, this is the worst book of all time. I cannot believe Britnie would give me this book. And I was almost like about to turn it off.
No.
And then.
He hasn't told me this story.
Yeah, I know. And then it got good. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who's listening. Go all the way through the book. Do not stop. Because there will be a point. And that's the point of the book, Britnie. That's the point, is so many people will give up 25% of the way through the book. They're going to stop either listening it, they're going to stop reading it, whatever, because it's not inspiring initially. And I think there's a reason for that, right? Because who is a drifter? Who doesn't want to be massively effective? And I was like, I was in the middle of a run. Like, I was probably trying to go for 26 miles that day, and I was like halfway through. And I was like, well, this is dumb. I have 2 more hours to be out here. Why would I just stop listening to this book? Britnie told me to listen. There has to be a point. Keep going. So the point of the story is we all are going to face massive, weird, random, small, tiny obstacles, hurdles. It could be boredom. Your obstacle could be boredom.
Ooh.
Are you going to let that distract you from being amazingly effective?
What are you running to?
That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. Poor is a mindset of living in fear. That was such a good quote. Thank you for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.
Can we talk about What is rich?
Ooh, let's get into that next episode.
I'll see you there.
If you keep hearing us talking about these impact trips where we're going and changing lives, delivering disaster response, we're helping to end human trafficking, we're building out these financial education programs to help people locally and globally be able to build themselves up, pull themselves up with dignity, and stand on their own 2 feet and be able to provide for themselves and their family. If you want to get involved in our give back initiatives, go to broketowoke.com and pick which one aligns best with you.